Yo, once again, it's on. Back at you one more again, Real Kens TV and the House Like Kitchen Sinks. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. Now, with no further ado, let's get into this afternoon's video, if you will. You know, before I get started, a couple people, well, actually several people have been hitting me up saying, Real Kens, I'm not getting my notifications. I'm not aware when you dropping videos. I didn't even know you've been dropping videos. I don't know exactly what's going on. So the only thing I can tell you is, you know, check your notifications. Just just check with my channel because I drop videos pretty much every day. You see what I'm saying? I'm still new at this YouTube thing too. So I'm trying to, we learning together. With that being said, there is a message today. I had a viewer email me, RealKensTV at Yahoo, and they say, Real Kens, could you explain to us, some of the hustles in prison? I understand, which I didn't initially, but I understand that, prisoners, that's what they said, prisoners need money while incarcerated. So if you're not having any money sent in, how do you survive in prison? Excellent question. You see what I'm saying? Because you definitely need money while incarcerated. They're going to give you the bare minimum. And they tell you that. This is not the life of luxury. If you wanted luxury, if you wanted that type of lifestyle, you would have stayed out. You see what I'm saying? But while you're in here, we're going to give you just enough rather, to stay alive. So, some of these things I've already talked about, but hey, we'll talk about it again. They're going to give you soap, but it's called state soap. State soap is the soap that is made, by the inmates pretty much. So you get state soap, you'll get state toothpaste, you'll get state razors, the real cheap razors for people that shave. Me, myself, man, I can't take a razor on my face, you know what I mean? But hey, a lot of people can. What else do they give you? They give you the state shaving cream. You see what I'm saying? But outside of that, as far as hygiene, the state shampoo. Outside of that, you got to fend for yourself. You see what I'm saying? You still need deodorant. They don't give you deodorant. Not in Kentucky prisons. They don't give you deodorant. So guess what? If you don't have any deodorant, you SOL to a certain extent, though. Because in Kentucky prisons, they require you to work, especially at work camps. That's what you're there for. It's a work camp. Now, once you go behind them walls and them gates, it's kind of dicey. You might not have to work. Certain places, I know you do. If you don't, they'll send you to the restricted dorm to where you don't have many privileges and you can't have a TV and you only get so much rec time and things of that nature. But definitely at the work camps, you're going to work or you're going to go to school. It's one of the two. Now, when you do that, when you do work and you just have a regular job, or you do go to school, you're going to get what's called state pay. So for the people that's never been in prison, you're going to get what's called state pay. State pay in Kentucky is usually about $26 a month, give or take a few cents. You work 5 days a week, and you're rewarded with about $26 every month. Now, that doesn't seem like a lot because it's not a lot. However, if you have nothing coming in, you can't wait until state pay comes. You see what I'm saying? Because that affords you to buy you some deodorant. Now, if you like me, I have to have the degree deodorant. I have to have the powder deodorant. I can't use the roll-on. So out of that $26, last time I was incarcerated, deodorant was about $5, like $4.80. And it's not even the tall deodorant. It's the small one. So you're going to spend $5 on deodorant. You got to have some real toothpaste. Colgate, Crest. You got to have your breath smelling, fresh. So you're going to spend another $4 on toothpaste. So it's $9 out of the $26 that you received. Everything else, soap. You got to have soap. So you may do a mixture. You may say, okay, I'm going to use a little bit of the state soap. And then, forget that. You got to buy you 3 bars of Irish Springs. You got to get you 3 or 4 bars of Irish Spring. So that's about $1. So you figure, and it's not the big bars. So you figure that's another $4. So what's that put us at? $13? So half of your state pay goes towards hygiene. Now, if you write, you got to buy you some stamps. So it's your money goes quickly. It essentially goes right back to the system. So you say, well, how are you supposed to survive off of that? Well, you got to get you a hustle. You got to get you a hustle because that only leaves you with $13 left after getting your essentials. 9 times out of 10, you probably get you some coffee. A lot of people, coffee is real big in prison, especially since they've taken the cigarettes out. Coffee is huge in prison. So you probably get you, a couple bags of coffee and get you as many noodles as you can possibly get. And that entire $26 is gone. And you have to maintain that and manage that for 30 days until your next state pay comes. And then you're going to turn around and do the same thing over again. All over again, rather. So, some of the hustles in prison, you can wash people's clothes. Now, when I say wash their clothes, because in prison, you can only have your whites. Now, when I say your whites, I mean clothes. Socks, boxers, t-shirts, all of those clothing articles are white. Your sweatsuits, gray. You can have gray t-shirts, I believe. But that's, pretty much what you have, and I'm trying to reflect back. I've been out of prison for years, so I'm trying to reflect back. I don't want to tell you all any wrong information, but I feel as though I'm pretty accurate at what I'm saying. And you have these items. A lot of people don't like sending their stuff to laundry. You know why? Because when you send it to laundry, it comes back missing, comes back dirtier than when you sent it. Because what happens is you have these laundry bags, like with the little holes in them, like the net bags. You put all your stuff, all your dirty clothes in a laundry bag. You take it down to the laundry. They throw all of your stuff in the industrial washing machines. But it'd be like 50 bags in one machine. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating. It's like 20, 25 bags in one machine. And your clothes are inside of a bag. So you can imagine how clean could your clothes possibly be. Now, when you get your clothes back, they're wrinkled, they're dingy. They don't smell good at all. They smell burnt. Because once they throw them in the dryer, they keep them in the dryer a lot of times too long. So you're getting your clothing back and it's in bad shape. Now, these sweatsuits cost money. When you get a prison sweatsuit, it might cost you $35, $40. And if you're a bigger guy, it's going to cost you more than that because you're going to need, 3, 4X. T-shirts, they're going to charge you $6 or $7 for a t-shirt. Then your boxers, So you don't want to just waste your money, throw your money, down the drain. So you'll find you somebody. It's always somebody around that does laundry. Now, what that consists of, he'll get a bucket. He'll take some of that state soap that I was telling you all about that they make in prisons. And, he'll have his own concoction. Every laundryman I've seen. Now, I use the state toothpaste and I mix it in because what it does is it brings out they all have a, a concoction, if you will. Pause, too. Double pause. They all have their own method. And they're able to, sell that to you. So you may say, okay, I got 3 t-shirts, 3 pair of socks, and, my boxers or whatever. So, negotiate a price or what have you. He'll wash your clothes straight out of a bucket, literally a bucket, hand wash your clothes, rinse them out by wringing the clothes out, hang your clothes up, and voila. Clothes is fresh. He'll throw some of that scented whatever that he's come up with or whatever, and now you get your clothes back and it's smelling good. So it costs you a little money, but guess what? You got clean clothes. So that's one of the hustles in prison. Another one of the hustles that they have, if you know how to cook, I have a commissary. Commissary has everything that the stores have pretty much out here. Now you have to use a microwave. I know that they had the grills in prison. So, you could fry your burgers or your chicken strips or whatever you want to, fried potatoes, whatever you want to throw on your grill. If you really know how to cook, that's a hustle. Cutting people's potatoes up, green peppers, whatever, all the prep work, which I guess falls in line, with cooking. That's definitely a hustle because people hate doing all that. Cutting the onion up. Guys don't feel like doing that. Let me think. What's some other hustles in prison that, that people have? Like, there's all type of things that you can do with integrity. We're not talking about anything, sideways. You can run tickets. Now, that's a risk. Now, running tickets is like, you got a ticket man. A ticket man is the guy that, basically, he's the bookie. So when there's a game going on and you want to buy a ticket, okay, you want a 3-team parlay, it's going to pay you, 5-1 odds, 4-1 odds. You want to pick 4 teams, it's going to pay you 8-1 odds. You want to pick 5 teams, it's going to pay you 10-1 odds. You see what I'm saying? But everybody's not in one unit, in one dorm. So you have ticket men that run around passing out tickets to people and collecting the money, collecting the items. And that's dangerous because if you want to buy 3 tickets, and let's just say those 3 tickets cost you $4, well, you give him the $4. It's not like you give him $4 in cash. We don't have cash in prison. So you might give him stamps or whatever that you have. Well, he has to transport that $4 back to the ticket man. You see what I'm saying? And that may seem simple, but the thing about it is when you're on the yard, you got the yard dogs, which is the officers that are out on the yard. They may just pull you over randomly. Hey, come here, random shakedown, random pat down. You see what I'm saying? Gambling, the poker table, which I don't recommend whatsoever, because that's probably one of the easiest ways to trick your time off, get your noodle pushed all the way backwards, which is AKA get your wig split. Shout out to Big Herc 916, Fresh Out Prison series. But yeah, that's definitely a hustle, but I definitely don't recommend that. You got dudes that open up stores. I don't recommend that either because, for one, it's illegal. They're going to try to hit you with extortion. If they do find out that you're running a store, it's just like out here. Just like out here on the streets. If I'm the store guy, you come to me. Yeah, I've been guilty 1 or 2 times for running a store, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. But I need 2 noodles. Okay, well, you owe me 3 back. I need 3 sodas. Okay, you owe me 5 back. You see what I'm saying? So that's just the bag. I need a big bag of chips. They got the big bag of chips in prison. Okay, I need 2 bags back. And you accumulate all those items when people pay you back. Again, it's risky because you could get caught. You're going to get a hell of a write-up for it. And then for 2, man, everybody can't be a store man in prison because people will try you. People won't try to pay you back. People will try to run up, and rob you. If they feel like you're soft, they'll come and borrow a bunch of stuff, and then when payday comes, they don't pay you. Now everybody's watching. Everybody's watching like, okay, well, if he don't do anything about this, then guess what? I'm not paying him back. But then it leads to another hustle. You have collectors. Some guys that are they have big stores. They'll have 2 or 3 goons to go collect their items. If you don't want to pay, they're gonna deal with you accordingly. So it's definitely another hustle, but it's another hustle that's is very, very sketchy. If you work in the kitchen, stealing food out of the kitchen, whether it's mayonnaise, whether it's chicken, whether it's whatever that they have out of the chicken patties, burgers, steal the food out of the kitchen and they sell it. That's a big hustle. Again, you got yard dogs. But inmates are always going to find a way. Those are all the hustles. I mean, there's many more. But those are just some of the hustles that I can think of off the top of my head. Because guys are in prison doing any and everything that they can do, again, within reason, within integrity, to survive. You got guys that know how to do tattoos. Now, that's not your average individual. It takes a special skill an individual that really knows what they're doing. But that's big money if you know how to do tattoos in prison. They make their own tattoo guns. You'll find like a CD player, something that has a motor in it. Something that has a motor in it. You take the motor out, and whatever that they do, they're able to build an actual tattoo gun. That's that's big in prison. You got art, people that know how to draw. They'll make like little Hallmark cards and stuff like that. They'll make cards. They'll make, I don't know, say you have a picture of your kids. They'll draw, sketch the picture, and you send it home to your family. Like, man, it's some of the most talented guys in prison that you'll ever see in your life. Like, guys really, really are talented in prison. I already knew how to cook a little bit, but I'm not going to say I really learned how to cook in prison. You see what I'm saying? Like, as though I'm some gourmet chef. I don't want to mislead you all, but I learned a lot of things about cooking in prison just from being around different individuals that know how to cook. Candy. Oh, candy's huge. Candy is huge because people always get a sweet tooth. You may take, let me give you an example. You take a jar of peanut butter. Get you a little brown sugar. Whatever you want to put, you make fudge. Melt the peanut butter down in the microwave to where it's, you can stir it rather easily. You pour it on a pan or whatever. Actually, you put it in a bowl. You mix your brown sugar. Then you pour it out on a pan, and then you may want to put some Reese's in it, M&Ms, whatever that you decide to put in it. You let it sit there for a while. It hardens up. Pause. Once it hardens up, you cut it. You get because they got little cutters in prison. Inmates make little cutters. You're not supposed to have them. Actually, it's another major write-up if you get caught with one of those, because it's kind of like having a weapon. But you might take like some plexiglass or something like that and have it cut out like into a little square, and you use that as a cutter. You cut the candy up, sell it $1 a piece. It may cost you $6 or $7 to make the candy, but you're gonna make 20 back from it. That's big. Suckers, melting down Jolly Ranchers, melting down Laffy Taffies. It's all type of ways to do it. You sell that 50 cents a piece, $1 a piece. You got to eat in prison, man. You see what I'm saying? So a person will be like, well, no, Real Kens, I'm sure that they feed you all. They have to feed you all by law. Yeah, they have to feed you a certain amount of calories per day. That's the only requirement that they have. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as they meet the calorie count. So let's just say it's 2,000 calories. And I think it's something along those lines. They have something that's called loafs. Now, that's more so used as punishment. And I've seen it done. So you go to the hole, right? Let's just say your meal is going to be, I don't know, brown beans, cornbread, coleslaw, and some rice that supposedly has some meat in it. Supposedly. What they'll do is they'll put all of that in a blender. Mix it up. Blenders, And when it comes out, they put it, I don't know exactly how they do it, but when it comes out, once it's mixed up, they use something and it comes in a form of a loaf, like a piece of meatloaf or something like that. And they give it to you. And that's your breakfast, or that's your lunch, that's your dinner. They met the calorie count, 2,000 calories. As long as it has the 2,000 calories, they give you something to drink. And that's what you eat. Now, a lot of times they only use that for punishment, but they definitely use it. Definitely use it. It's cruel. It's a dirty game, man. It's definitely a dirty game in prison, but these are 100% facts. You see what I'm saying? What's another, let's see. Oh, holding a person's place in line. You want to go to the store, you want to go to commissary or whatever, and you don't get out of class till late or school till late or what have you. I meant to say work. So you get to the commissary line and you're not trying to go way to the back of the line, because it may take you, an hour, 2 hours, especially back in the day. It may take you like 2 hours just to get through, get through. But you got somebody that's already holding your spot in the line. You see what I'm saying? So they holding your spot in line. You go straight to boom, 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 whatever you all worked out. You pay them. Now, you run the danger because you have some people who's going to be like, hold on, man, you bucking line. Bucking line's a no-no in prison. You see what I'm saying? For one, it's a major write-up. For two, you could severely get hurt. But it depends on where you at and depends on who you are. And, you know, it just depends. I never really seen too much of an issue with that because no one's really losing their place in line. You see what I'm saying? This guy was standing there. He was just holding a spot for somebody else. And so many people do it. That's not really too much of an issue. But it's just a little enlightenment. Hopefully I've answered your question. And allowed you to just kind of understand, you know, a lot of the things that take place in prison, as far as hustles and why you need money in prison. You definitely need money in prison because those meals are terrible. I'm talking about terrible. Every once in a while, you may get a decent meal. Hot dogs, chicken patties, loaded baked potatoes, taco days, taco salads, burgers. They used to sell the chicken quarters. They serve the chicken quarters. They don't anymore. Last time I was incarcerated. But most of the meals are terrible. And even when they do give you the better meals, like the chicken patty, they give you very little. But when they're serving the brown beans and the cornbread and the rice that supposedly has meat in it and the coleslaw, oh, they're going to load you up. They're going to load you up. But when it's burger day, hot dog day, you barely going to get anything. So you definitely have to have some food in your locker. You got to have food in your locker, man, because you're going to get hungry. In prison, you may eat at about 4:30, between 4:30 and 5 o'clock. And then they don't serve breakfast again until 6 o'clock in the morning. So you're looking at a 13-hour window, and breakfast is going to be garbage. So you might not want to get up and go get those grits with cheese in it and eggs. And I don't know. I don't like none of that stuff. You see what I'm saying? So all of that time, you're going to go without eating if you don't have anything in your box, if you don't have anything in your locker to eat. And then you smelling food because you got other people that their accounts are loaded. They have people sending them money on a regular basis, or they already have tons of money on their account. So, you know, they cooking the breakfast sandwiches, or at night chicken and pizza and barbecue this, barbecue that, and salmon and all this stuff. And you sitting there and your stomach's growling and you're hungry and you're trying to play it off like, you know, as though you're not, but it's terrible. It's terrible, man. So if you all have anyone locked up in prison, look out for them, man. I know it's not your job. I know you're not obligated. Look out for them, man, because it's very, very, very rough. You can't even make a call. If you don't have no money, you can't call home. How am I going to call home if I don't have any money to put on my account to make the call? The days of calling somebody collect and they pay for that's over with. If you don't have any money, you can't even call home to talk to your family, your kids, well, you shouldn't go to prison and you wouldn't have to worry. Well, we shouldn't do a lot of things. You all not perfect. And I'm just speaking to the ones that feel as though, well, you shouldn't do this. And you shouldn't put yourself in that situation. A lot of things we do, we shouldn't put ourselves through. We shouldn't put ourselves in that situation. But we have to have empathy for other people. You know, we have to be forgiving. And we have to just understand that, okay now, you know what I mean? I'm not going to keep doing this over and over, but I'm going to support you. I'm going to ride with you. But let's get it together. Let's come up with a plan. You see what I'm saying? If they really your friend, they really your loved one, you really care about them. So hopefully, once again, that's a insight of how prison works as far as the food, as far as why you need money, and as far as the hustles in prison. Nobody's, you know, I haven't seen it anyway. I ain't seen nobody, man, wash my drawers. Heavy starch. Wash my socks. No, that's TV. I'm not saying it never happens. I'm just saying all the years I've done, I've never seen that. It's a volunteer thing. You see what I'm saying? Make your money. And people respect it. Ain't nobody sitting back like, oh man, he's washing dudes' drawers. Nah, people respect that because it's a hustle. So they're going to help you out. A lot of times, man, my laundry dude, like if I ain't feel like washing my clothes, a lot of times I'll wash mine out myself. But if I ain't feel like washing my clothes, man, I give my laundry man more than what he charged me just for the simple fact, man, I respect your hustle, man. I respect the fact that I know that you don't have anybody looking out for you, sending you no money. You getting it out, you know, you getting it off the land. That's what you call it. I'm living off the land. Whatever I got to do, within reason, to eat. Because that's your whole goal in prison is to eat. When you hustling like that. Real Kids TV. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive it. As I mentioned, people have been telling me that they're not being notified as far as when I drop a video. Randomly check my channel. Check it every day, or just whenever you thinking about Real Kens. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm constantly dropping content. For whatever reason, my videos are not being pushed out there. So guess what? I'm not gonna sit around and complain and cry about it. I'm gonna just keep dropping content, and keep dropping content. And at some point, the turtle will catch up. Real Kens TV. Enjoy your day, man.